Dan Wooten, how the tables have justly turned. Karma, man, karma. Dan Wooten has just been fired from the Daily Mail Online. Just last year, he wrote a negative article on Johnny. Scathing article. An article that was completely effing unnecessary. And he has also been suspended from GB News, okay, for separate reasons. So it's just completely raining, pouring, freaking hurricane over there for Dan Wooten, deservedly. You never can win when you play dirty, per the great Nene Leakes. So we're going to look into this a little bit and see what's going on with Dan Wooten. So we've already spoken about Dan Wooten, about this scathing article he wrote about Johnny Depp. The fact that he worked with the Sun when the whole situation with the court case in the UK. We've also talked about the fact that the fact that he still had a job, still to this point, after it came out that he was like trying to get suggestive and, well, pretty much sexual pictures from his coworkers and shit for large sums of money. Just an all-around creep. A creep. One of those guys that you just, you see them coming towards you and you kind of want to go to the other side of the street because you get bad vibes from him. Yeah, Dan Wooten. Dan effing Wooten. So now, he's getting his recompense and he is going to have to pay. And now he's fired and he's losing his jobs. And while Johnny is off producing a movie of his own in Budapest. And the other woman, AH, is somewhere in Spain, doing whatever the F, trying to concoct something, This is what happens. Can be at the top by doing dirty for a little bit, but that's just gonna come right back around. Dan Wooten has also been highly critical of Meghan Markle. Obsessed, almost, quite honestly. Like, apparently, somebody on Twitter made up a video of clips from his show since May of this year. Around 60 shows were reviewed, and in almost every show, Meghan Markle was at least mentioned, and at most, the primary topic of discussion. The phrase Meghan Markle or Meghan was said no fewer than 1,000 times. Obsessed. And then he wants to sit there and then also act like Amber is some saint. How are you consistently on the wrong fucking side of every fucking thing? Now, I know we disagree on the Meghan Markle thing, but how are you on the wrong side of every fucking thing, Dan Wooten? For real? So now your shit is fucked, and what you're gonna do about it? You're suspended with GB News, fired from Daily Mail Online. What's next? So, because this is what he does, he sits up on his fucking show and just wants to trash women, anybody with whom he really is obsessed with. We know, like, the honest, real reason why he goes in on these women, especially Meghan Markle. The underlying reason, because there's no reason to be that vile towards somebody that you don't know. That you do not know. Like, what does she do to you? Nothing. So, right-wing commentator Lawrence Fox has admitted he expects GB News to sack him and Dan Wooten tomorrow after more than 48 hours after a public uproar over his offensive and sexist comments to a female journalist. He's apologized to Ava Evans, admitting that he had been demeaning towards her in a rambling 15-minute video. Fox and Wooten, who were heard laughing during the segment, were both suspended by GB News on Wednesday. On Thursday, Daily Mail sacked Wooten as a columnist. Daily Mail was like, look, there must have been some underlying brewing shit going on over there as well. Last month, the platform had suspended Wooten's column during an investigation, that's what it was, because he claimed to be offering money to sexual images. So this was the last motherfucking straw. So like they let you have your position for a good 2 months, Dan Wu, and you still couldn't get your shit together. You still couldn't just sit in a corner and keep your head down and shut the fuck up. You were already on thin ice, and you wanted to get up on here and act a fucking ass. But that's okay. You showed your true colors, and now here you are with no job. Right now you're suspended, but your buddy is sitting here saying that he's pretty sure y'all are gonna be fired tomorrow on Friday. That's when they typically do firings. So then you can go through your weekend and think about, reflect on all your wrongdoings, try to come up with some bullshit apology that nobody's going to believe. It's too late. It's too late. So yeah, you're sitting there offering money for sexual images, nasty, in work, nasty. Like, you want to talk about Megan being arrogant and like thinking she's the shit and wanting to have all the attention and all the horrible things about Megan. What does that say about you asking your colleagues for sexual images for large sums of money? What do we think about your mind frame from that action? That you really thought that you could do that? The audacity, Dan Wooten, the audacity. So you're doing all that, talking all bad shit and on the wrong side of everything. Wooten had apologized unreservedly for his behavior during the tirade on Tuesday night, which prompted this outrage. Whatever. So yeah, he believes tomorrow, his friend Lawrence Fox, and he believes that they're going to be fired tomorrow morning. So they may wake up to a pretty rough email. I hope that they have, put stuff away, put savings away, because it is rough out here. Everything is expensive as hell. I don't know about, in the UK, but over here in the States, everything is high as hell. So, I really don't have sympathy, because you've already been doing shady shit, and it's like it's caught up to you at this point. And it's karma. So we will see what happens. If Friday you are fired from GB News as well. Good luck. Now, here are two people that I'm sure were happy to have the spotlight taken off of them when the whole Russell Brand story broke, which we really haven't heard much more about that. Russell Brand is going on business as usual. He's been posting a lot on X, but business as usual. But we have Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis out in Hollywood for a date night. And you can see here the photo credited by Backgrid. Now, if we're going to say Backgrid is who Meghan Markle and Harry call for their staged paparazzi pics, then that means Mila and Ashton are doing the same. But my question is why? They could have rode off into the sunset and we didn't need to hear or see from them ever again, really. But I guess that means that they still have money that needs to be made, and they need to correct this image that they really soured with putting these letters out. So they want to give us an impression that they're this solid unit out on a date night, even after everything that went down. I'm just very shocked that they're out and about this soon in public and willing to be photographed by Backgrid, which is staged. I mean, look at the picture. They're way up on them. They're trying to avert their eyes in like this very weird way. There's nothing candid about this picture whatsoever. Staged as hell. So what do you guys think? Do you think that they're seen out and about because they're trying to start the process of rectifying their image? And they're showing that they're a strong family unit and they're standing beside each other in this time of difficulty that they're experiencing, that they kind of brought on themselves. I just think it's an interesting move so soon. It has to mean something. Everything means something.